Sam Latondras, and I've been asked to open up a conversation about, from our Finance Committee about an initiative that we have come up with to try to pay off our parsonage. Let me start with something that you did not get this year from our church. Can any of you think about what that might be? Well, what it was a letter this summer that you did not receive. The dreaded letter. A crisis note. We're underwater. Every summer, it seems, they send out a letter saying, fund us, please. As the snowbirds leave, the revenue slows down, the bills continue. We need to pay the electricity bill, the mortgage, whatever. You didn't receive one of those this year. And the reason for that is the hard work of the Finance Committee, chaired by Bruce Reed. They've worked very hard in the last year to try to get our finances a little more in order so we can sustain the tough times when the snowbirds are gone. Some of the things that they've done is they have renegotiated our mortgage on our church here with a savings of about $9,400 a year. Big savings, helps. We renegotiated our HOA on the parsonage to get that down to a manageable number. And I think, we had about a $1,000 rebate on that. We're in the process of negotiating on for our HOA on the church here. And that could be a big one. We're looking to save a lot of money on that with as much as possibly around a $5,000 rebate coming back to us on past payments. So all those things add up to, we're going in the right direction. Our community's growing, our church family's growing, and we're a little more solvent than what we have been. But one thing that would really help us is if we paid off the parsonage mortgage. It's not a big number. When I look at, I'm astounded. When I look at our church community here, the generosity that comes from within this group of people, in their time, their energy, and their talents, and monetarily, it amazes me how willing people are to give when they really stop and think about where it's all coming from. Our portion to share for what God has helped provide for us. It's a win-win deal there. I know when we talk about it at home, we pray about it sitting around our kitchen table or whatever. It always comes back to the same thing. It's an honor to be able to contribute to our church family. So with that, I'd say there's an insert, white one. Please take that home. Read it. Read it a couple of times. It gives you a little more explanation of where we're going, where we're coming from, and what we're trying to do. Very important. We're thinking about an 18-month period in order to pay off the parsonage. We'd love to be able to pay it off sooner. It would save us a lot of money. So we have transparency here. Our monthly payment on the parsonage is around $1,200, of which about 55% of it is interest. That number drives me nuts when I think about it. That's a lot of interest. If we paid off the parsonage, it would mean a savings annually of $14,400, roughly that. Right back in our pocket, to where we could do things that matter as a church. We need to be more of a vital congregation. We've talked about it. The church has decided that's what we're going to do. But in order to do things in that direction, it takes funding. And something paying off the parsonage mortgage would give us those funds. to be able to become more of a part of our Mesquite community. So we're not just here for ourselves. We're here for our Mesquite community. Draw them into the family as well. Donations. You might have noticed in the back today in the narthex, there's a little picture, what would you call it, Rich? My good friend Rich made that for us, he's our artist. It's like a barometer? Okay.
It's like a barometer.
Like a barometer, okay. And at any rate, it shows you, it starts at $150,000 for, to be, once we attain that, the mortgage is paid off. And it'll show on a weekly basis how close we're getting to that number. We'll move up, so you can keep track of it. It'll be in the Northex each summer until we pay that up. Hopefully, I'd love to see 6 months and we can pay that thing off and move on to more important things than paying off a parsonage. Anyway, that'll be there for you to see each week. Donations can be made, you know, cash or check. Please write on the envelope or the check is for the parsonage payoff. Another really good form of paying is stock transfers. The Finance Committee has set up an account for the parsonage payoff. Monies will only go into that account that are deemed to go into that account. So if you're making donations for the parsonage payoff, you can be assured that's where they're going. They'll go into that account, along with, we've opened up an account at Edward Jones for stock transfers. We've already done it in one case. It's a smooth, easy process. We'd be glad to give you any information that you might need before that process. Either Bruce or Wayne Adams or myself would be glad to pass that information along to you, where you can transfer stock and make your donation that way. It's a very good program. There's going to be a little article on Crossing Plains. Here it's coming out here in the next few days. And that will explain how that process can be done with stock transfer. It's a win-win. It really is. I think I've covered everything. I hope I've not forgotten anything. If there is, I apologize. I appreciate your time.